Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. We are Saturday, October 11th, 2014. This is episode 81. Did I say Two Tangled Skeins?
Yes.
Cool. Not enough coffee. I'm Sue, also known as Crafting Under 7. I'd like to welcome any new viewers who are tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and welcome back any returning viewers. Glad you stuck around with the crazy.
Hi, I'm the crazy.
I'm
A third of the crazy, a third.
I'm Kari, also known as Jaded Knitter, and you can find us on YouTube at Two Tangled Skeins or our blog, which is twotangledskeins.com, and that's got all of our show notes. And come join our group on Ravelry, because we have prizes.
We have stuff going on. We're almost at 800 members.
Yes.
And we have 3 prizes for our 800 member draw. So,
Yep.
yeah. Invite your friends. Get us up to 800.
Ooh,
So.
pretty owls. It looks really good
Yeah.
on the screen.
Oh,
Sorry.
her shirt. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Sorry.
I'll get into this in a minute. But yeah, and I guess happy Thanksgiving to
Yes,
all the
to all the
Canadians.
Canadians.
Because this is our Thanksgiving long weekend.
And happy birthday to me.
And yes,
happy
my
birthday.
birthday was on Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday. And as I told her earlier this week, later in the week, that her birthday present for me is waiting for her at Rhinebeck somewhere. Because,
Yay.
Yep.
Yes, because I really don't get birthday celebrations because, well, my birthday is always on Thanksgiving weekend. So my family tends to kind of forget. So,
That's okay.
Rhinebeck is my birthday present to me.
Don't forget to introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Lynne, also known as Toll Baby.
Because, And we've already got a title for the show. It's called Lynne Steals the Show.
I'm sorry.
You'll see why in a minute.
Yep.
Or two.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to take either one of us that long.
I don't have an FO. But you guys have FOs, so. Whoever
Sorry.
wants to go first.
I'm
go
getting
ahead.
over the plague. Go ahead.
Okay. And the faux would be why I'm wearing this shirt, because you can see
The detail.
you can see the details of the owls on this one. This is the owl sweater that I had originally made for my mom, and as you can see, fits me perfectly.
Yeah.
Didn't
So
fit
good.
Mom.
Didn't fit mom. So it is now mine. And this is the new owl sweater, which I've made for my mom. Which
Actually,
Oh,
shows
wow.
up pretty good.
yeah, you can see the.
Although it looks purple.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
actually a royal blue. But as you can see, this is the actual pattern as written. It's Owls by Kate Davies.
It's an awesome sweater.
It's an awesome sweater. It's an awesome pattern. It's really well written and really nice. So if you're looking for, it's made of
I've
bulky.
been thinking of making one, but I thought it would be too hard. for
I
me.
kind of
No.
want one now.
Oh yeah.
It's dead simple.
Good.
The sweater itself, dead simple, really easy to do. Even, I know the owls look really complicated. They're not. Once you see them, see the actual chart for them,
Yeah.
they're really, really
So
simple.
no worse than cables.
They are cables. That's all these owls are, is cables.
Oh. See that?
They're just, it's,
Oh, I see now. Okay.
yeah, it's just the way the cables
Cool.
are done.
So it's a pretty popular pattern.
Yes, it is.
And hell, since you've now knit 2 of them. I
Heck, there's an
Yep.
adapted hat pattern.
Yeah, I've
somebody
seen
made.
those. Yeah, and baby sweaters too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, my owls on here are actually done incorrectly. I was checking them against. These ones are done correctly, and you can see how all of the cables should be identical on them. So it's kind of hard to see on there. But mine all have these circular bodies. They're not actually supposed to have those. I did the cables wrong on this one.
And you just went.
That's
with it.
okay because they're pretty.
Basically, I didn't realize until after I'd pretty much finished it, and at that point I was like,
It
they
looks
still look
fine.
like owls.
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to tell.
No.
But Mom's is a cardigan. I have the zipper for it. I got it last weekend. Well, Mom bought it for me last weekend. And I know it fits because she also tried it on. And I just have to sew the zipper on because I'm giving it to her tomorrow, so the zipper gets sewn on tonight. And as you can see, this is actually a raglan. So it comes up a lot further in the shoulders than this one does. And it has somewhat of a shawl collar on it.
I like that.
Which I added, and then a button band, which is double moss stitch. I think it's also called box stitch, but I'm not
What's
sure.
wrong with you?
I needed something that wasn't going to roll or curl and wasn't going to shrink up on itself. And quite frankly, your options are
Fairly limited.
And it's
You didn't want ribbing.
Yeah, it's no worse than doing ribbing. It's still 2x2.
You kept losing your space on that night we were out.
Yes.
Because there were some pretty policemen that walked into the coffee shop.
Yes. Yes, there were.
We got distracted.
I do button bands. I sew them on afterwards because I find they it gives it a little more structure because they're actually, I don't know if you can see they're actually sewn on. So
Nice.
I knit them independently of the sweater.
And then sew them on.
Well, I was knitting them in the coffee shop with her, and like she said, we got distracted. So I, kind of roughly measured it out against the sweater, put a marker, and figured out how much more I needed. Yeah, ended up I had like this much. I put it on, had about this much left over until the marker, and then had another good couple of inches of extra. I had like an extra foot worth of.
Easily distracted by men in uniform.
They were really pretty men in uniform.
Sure they were.
They were
Sure they weren't friends of Mike's?
Was it Distress Action Response Team? Direct Access Response Team. Because on the back of their shirt or their vest it said DART. We're like, what does DART mean?
I couldn't remember it. They're
And you had to get up close and personal to read.
Well, they were close enough. They were standing in line getting coffee, which they did not pay for, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. Smart business owners don't charge cops for coffee and things like that because
You want them
they'll
wide-eyed and
come
bushy-tailed.
quick.
You need them wide-eyed and
That's
bushy-tailed.
Yep. But
So, did you say what needles that was on?
this one is on 6.5 millimeter, which is a 10 and a half US. And the ribbing is all done on a 6 millimeter, which is a US 10.
And you said what kind of yarn it was?
No, I didn't. It's Cascade 128 Superwash.
There's a reason we have show notes right here.
Yep.
it's all written down.
I love the Cascade, the 128, the 220. This is also Cascade 128 Superwash.
Is 128 thicker than the 220?
It's the bulky.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 128 yards.
Okay.
Like the 220's the 220 yards.
Which is supposed to be worsted and does not look worsted.
It is worsted.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but look at the ball of yarn that she
I've
knit
got
the
some
pad out
here.
of. It does not look worsted.
that's worsted. That's Cascade 220 Superwash. It doesn't look worsted. It looks like a sport maybe.
Yep.
Or a DK, but it does not
Because
look
it's a sport.
worsted.
Anyways, we had this discussion last night.
Yeah.
So, Lynn,
Oh yeah.
FOs.
I have a few. This is the contemporary dishcloth out of Dishcloth Diva Knits On. It's by Deb Buckingham. I don't know how big she expected this thing to be, but I cut it off halfway. There were 3 more pattern repeats in the pattern.
Wow.
I measured it against the other dishcloths I had and stopped. So this is on size 8, which is a 5 millimeter. It's out of Burnett Handicrafter Cotton Mod Green, and it is a lovely little pattern. I actually really like the detailing. It's little blocks of stockinette surrounded by garter stitch, which would make it really, really good for scrubbing, because you've got this nice smooth part, and then that really makes the garter stitch stand out. Since it's going to be a blanket, I don't have to care about how it scrubs, but that's the finished dishcloth for this week. And this is what I did with my Beachy Basin yarn.
I'm actually getting them to pick me up another skein so I can do some color work out of mine.
Yes. But I found this pattern and I didn't block it, so it's not as stretched out as it could be. But it's called the Etoile hat, which is the star.
It doesn't fit.
No, it'll fit.
Sorry.
It'll fit my mom or Sky or Carrie, who wants to steal it but can't have it. But
It's a.
There you go.
it's a little slouchy thing that holds your hair in. So turn your head. So no, you can't. You're not an owl. So
There you go.
so you can see the star detail and the bigger star around it. And it's really, really nice pattern. It's very. You can turn around now.
Okay.
It's very. We almost killed Sue.
Excuse me.
It's a very lovely pattern, very well written. Who's it by again? The Étoile.
Oh, Étoile. It's by Linda Irving Bell.
Right. So it's a freebie on Rav, and as a short review of the, because this is Beachy Basin. Thank you. Lhasa Wilderness, which is bison and bamboo, 75-25, I think.
Which was gifted to us by them.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
And
Carl.
oh my
Yes.
God, is it nice to knit with? This stuff is so soft. It does not split
You need
at
to
all.
bring that to Rhinebeck to show him.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And of course, I knit it for my daughter because when I saw that he had a colorway named Sky, I had to buy it. And so I'm finishing it up. And she goes, "Oh, nice hat, Mom. Can I have the police box one?" So she has no interest in this hat whatsoever. So it's probably going to go to a very loving home at my mother's house. Because my mom's the only other person with really short hair that it will fit. And so it still needs to be blocked. I'm going to stick it on a plate, wet it. Well, I'm going to wet it first, and then I'm going to stick it on a plate.
Then it should
and,
be perfect.
It'll. Oh, ow.
It's
Anyway,
gonna bloom.
this is the first lace pattern I have never had to rip back. I have never had to fix anything.
Did you have trouble with the cast on? Or was that something else?
No, it wasn't this one because this is This is 8 stitches and split
Okay.
between 4 DPNs. The whole thing was knit on DPNs because, quite frankly, I couldn't be bothered to switch it to
Circular.
a circular. But I loved it, and the cast off is a little bit tight, but it has to be to bring the ribbing in a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
So but it's beautiful, beautiful yarn to knit with. It didn't split at all. It was perfect. It didn't poof. It was. I
I've
love
been
the
keeping
yarn.
my skein next to my my knitting chair and petting it every so often.
This has been sitting next to the couch where I knit, and every so often I'll just reach over and pet the hat a little bit. So that's
You can't touch Angora, but you can touch bison.
alpaca.
Oh, sorry.
I can
alpaca.
touch Angora.
Sorry, alpaca.
Angora.
So that's phone number 2, and then this, just as soft and squishy and wonderful, is my cool clavicle cover. Woot. It's not blocked, obviously. It needs a little bit of stretching out.
It's pretty.
And this is out of Bittersweet Woolery's Guilty Pleasures sock yarn in the pressed petals. I always do that. Pressed petals colorway. I keep saying faded petals, but it's pressed petals.
And it's by Megan Williams of the
Yes.
Stockinette Zombies.
Yes, and Megan, fantastic pattern, absolutely amazing. I'm really bad at counting, so there were a couple of times I had to fudge the end of the row, but this is soft, it is squishy. The variegation really pops the... Were you getting warm?
Just a wee tad.
She put the sweater on just before we started recording, so
It was the sweater I actually wore outside today. It's only
Yeah.
8 Celsius.
8 or 9 degrees, yeah. But the variegation really pops with the slip stitches, and I love it, and it is pretty and wonderful, and nobody can have it because it's mine. So this is probably going to be the only thing I actually wear at Rhinebeck.
Can you open up a new tab on your tablet? Because I want to show this pattern.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the cool clavicle cover by Megan. What's her name?
Williams.
Williams. Sorry, I'm really bad with names and worse with faces. And
She'll be
it
at
was
Rhinebeck.
on size.
Sorry, 5.
5. So a 5 millimeter, a size 8. And I will bring it to Rhinebeck so we can show it off to her. And that's all my bows.
Yay.
What's on the needles?
I have a couple things. Carrie's just picking up this pattern for me because right now it's just.
Do you want me to just keep going then?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have a lot on the needles.
Yeah, she's got. Yeah.
Well, I might as well start with this since it's what I'm working on.
I basically said, I hope you don't have any more because I got no more room in the notebook.
Yeah, she said, "Are you finished now? There's no more room on the page. What do we do now?" Sorry. This is a linen stitch scarf. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the detail, but there's a whole bunch of different colors in here. Among others, there's the scraps left over from the Étoile hat, which is the light blue.
Yeah, I just want to show that.
The green is from my first French can, which I don't know if you guys ever got to see. I think I brought it to
Yes.
Chicago with me.
You showed
Did I bring
on
it
the show.
afterwards?
Yep.
And the white and the dark blue are from the police box hat. So I've got a bunch of different scraps in here. The pink is just random stuff. But it's on a size 6. There's no pattern. It's just a stitch pattern. So linen stitch is really, really easy, and it looks really, really complicated compared to knitting, but it's not
complicated. It's just
it's
it
tedious.
hurts my hands.
It's tedious. I mean, it's like doing seed stitch, except you're not actually.
That was the pattern that I started Sean's scarf with and said, no, can't do this.
And I love it. Because, well, you can grab a whole bunch of different colors that really don't go together, and it turns into something amazing. So that's the first thing on the needles. I had started one a good while back with just the pink and purple and red, because it was all one skein yarn. And something happened to it. It got destroyed. And I started over with the leftovers of that yarn. And so now I'm on, I think I've got 6 or 7 balls in my scrap bag there that I'm working on. And this is all DK weight or sport weight. So, which is why I say that the Cascade 220 Superwash is not worsted, because it's in a sport and DK scarf. I'm also working on Victoria, is it? Virginia.
Yes, Virginia.
Okay, so this is yet another dishcloth from the Dishcloth Diva Knits On by Deb Buckingham. This is the Virginia dishcloth. I didn't get very far on it. It's out of Handicrafter Cotton in Faded Denim Ombre is the colorway. And so I'm working away at that one.
Size 5?
Size 5 needles, sorry, yes. No, size 8 needles, a US 8 5 millimeter.
Yes.
So I started that last week, and I'm still working on that. Last night, I got it into my head that I needed to cast this on. And what did I do with the pattern after that? Folded it back up and put it in my bag. This is the, and I can show you this because the pattern is all entirely on the back. This is the Provence Child's Cabled Pullover. It is the cutest little cabled sweater I have ever seen in my entire life, and that little kid in the picture is adorable, and I want to grab him and take him home, but this pattern's like 10 years old, so he's like a teenager now.
Which you don't want.
I already have 2 of those. This is as far as I got, because I kept having to rip back because I kept screwing up the cables. Knitting and 2 a.m. don't go together.
I thought you went home to go to bed.
I know, and then I got it into my head because Rob was driving through the night to come to get here last night, and I got it into my head that I was going to wait up for him.
Did you make it?
Oh, hell no. Round about this point, he called me and he said, I'm in Toronto. I'll be another 4 or 5 hours. Go to bed. So I went to bed, and then he woke me up at 6 a.m., the bastard. So this is on 3.25 millimeters, which is a US
3. And 6
and
millimeter.
it's on, then later I have to, once I have 1.5 inches of this, I have to switch to a US 6, which is a 4 millimeter needle. Yep. So, and the only 4 millimeter needles I had in my stash, I had to laugh at this, are these glowy ones that our friend, my friend Dara had given me years ago. I don't know where she got them, but they light up. They're for knitting in the dark. How you read your pattern, I don't know, but they're for knitting in the dark.
And that's by Classic Elite Yarn?
Yes, Classic Elite Yarns, the pattern. The yarn is Barocco Comfort DK.
And I swear we are not killing a dog in the background. That's outside.
Somebody's walking their dog and it wants to come in. I don't know. So, yes, it is. This is half nylon, half acrylic yarn. It is really, really soft and lovely to knit with. He's really unhappy out there.
We have a lot of people that have like rats for
little
dogs.
yappy dogs, yes.
So
Sue has big dogs. The
when we
neighbors seem
see
to
the
have
small
little-
dogs,
little-
we
those
go,
little
yeah,
things.
that's lunch.
I at least have a small dog that thinks it's a big dog.
Yeah.
And somewhat
Your dog
sounds-
doesn't think he's a dog.
Okay, there is always that.
Your dog thinks he's a cat.
My dog thinks he's human.
Well, yes, there is that.
Let's be realistic.
He thinks he's
here.
a person.
He's people.
So this
My
is
mother
my
doesn't help with
Tanhouse
this idea.
Brook shawl. Well, he's a grand pug.
Oh my. Might have
It's
to
just
close
going
the
nuts out
window.
there. No, it's fine. I'm sure they can deal with a little bit of yipping. They're going to have to deal with the dog next weekend.
Yes.
There's going to be a pugisode next weekend. I don't know who came up with that word on the board, but it's perfect.
Collie.
This is the Tanhouse
And
Brook
that
shawl.
has now officially been stolen as the title of the show.
And this is Juliana's Lucid Dream sock yarn in press ball. I'm just going to use my boobs because it's a good way to spread it out.
Harvest.
In Harvest colorway. And I'm just using my boobs to spread it out because they're convenient. The last time you saw it was this big, so I got all this done. I'm on the second eyelet row. I just passed it, which means I have 3 more eyelet sections to go and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yay.
And the pattern's by Jennifer Lassonde.
Yes. See, she has the notes. That's why she has the notes. This is on a US 7 at 4.5 millimeter, not milliliters. And that's about all I have to say about the Tannhaus Brick Shawl. It's a lovely pattern. It's very well written.
Although technically 1 cubic millimeter and 1 cubic milliliter are the same thing.
Don't make me poke you with the pointy thing.
Same with 1 gram. Hello and welcome to metric.
It's one of the reasons I actually like metric. But I love the colorway. I love all the different splotches and say it's really pretty. It looks like a pile of leaves. So there's that one. And oh yes, I still have more.
Now you see why it's Lynne steals the show.
Sorry.
Not like the two of us haven't done it before.
I found the flax sweater, so it's not all that impressive, but it's back in rotation, and I will be working on it at Rhinebeck. So this is my son's sweater. It's the Flax by Tin Can Knits.
Yeah.
The wonderful thing about this sweater pattern is that if you it's a freebie first of all, and if you download the pattern, it comes in every size from infant to adult and like even big people. So I plan on eventually making myself one, but I've gotten this far. It's almost at the shoulders.
And that's going to fit him?
That's going to fit him.
Okay.
This is an adult, this is a men's large, I think, or a medium. One of the two, but it will fit him. And so that is out of Patents Canadiana, which is not discontinued. Woo! I'm not sure about the Barocco, so I'm not saying a word.
I don't think it's discontinued either.
I don't think so, but I don't want to take a chance because remember what happened with the Red Heart Super Saver?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want them to discontinue the Barocco. So this is Patents Canadiana in brown, and it is on, was it size 8?
4 millimeters, which is a 7,
Okay.
and 5 millimeters, which is an 8.
So these are my 5 millimeter tips.
Yeah.
So yes, the ribbing was done in a 4.5 millimeter, and the rest has been done in a 5. And so it's back in rotation. So that's all I'm.
And that's an
looking
easy potato chip knitting, right?
for. Yes, because it's mostly stockinette, but it's got just enough garter stitch down the sides of the sleeves and down the side of the body to keep it interesting, so you don't get super bored with stockinette hell.
Yeah.
And it's basically Tin Can Knits likes to write her patterns as if she's teaching somebody to knit. So it's the idea of this pattern is that it's perfect for a beginner, and it's not so boring that an experienced knitter will not like it. So I really like her patterns because they like to teach things about, say, the construction of the sweater, how the raglans work, and things like that. So I really like her patterns, and Zachary's very happy because now he may actually get a sweater before he reaches adulthood.
Nice.
And I haven't had any caffeine yet today, so I'm like, woo! And that's why I'm talking so fast. I'm done.
That is actually perfect because I just finished a row. Next! So yeah, she was actually checking my temperature earlier because she was asking me what I had, and the grand total of things on the needles is
That you're
this,
working on.
that I'm currently working on is this. That's it.
And like monogamous.
Carrie is not monogamous.
No,
Not
Carrie
with
is
knitting,
not.
anyway.
Yeah, Carrie is not monogamous with her knitting. But this is all I've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Well, for the last week. Before that, I had this because I needed to get it finished because it's being gifted to my mom tomorrow.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Not that Mom watches. Because I know she doesn't. Although she might watch the Pug-isode because it'll have the pug. Lots of the pug. My mother watches pug videos. That's for fun. She surfs YouTube for pug videos
That's kind of awesome.
and TED Talks.
Oh, and I don't know if all of you have been on the group lately, but Carrie posted a picture of the pug after our walk last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he didn't make it onto the bed. He's passed out
He
in
walked
my
into the
closet.
house, made it to the carpet, and went thump.
Yeah. He's actually, the picture's actually in I have a walk-through closet. So I'm on the bed and that picture is him in the closet, which is fairly close to the door. But yeah, this is, and it looks kind of bumpy and lumpy. That's because it is kind of bumpy and lumpy, and it's driving me absolutely batty because my stitches, which are normally perfectly even, are not. And it's because, as you can probably see, this yarn is kinky.
Because
This yarn has been resurrected.
Yes. This pattern is The Shapely Boyfriend by Stephanie Appel. It's out of Knitty. Let me find out what issue. Deep Fall 2011. So a couple of years ago. Let's see if we can get
Right down.
Nope.
wow.
Nope. I can't.
We
show
don't know
picture.
if you can see that because on our screen it's white.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to see that, so they're not going to be able to see your picture either.
That is just
I'm
awful.
sorry.
It's not your fault.
No, I know. Apologizing to them, not to you.
Oh. Yeah, so that's where the pattern's from. This was, some of you might recognize the yarn, probably not, from last fall. I knit a sweater I called New Sweater for a New Job. Well, didn't end up keeping the job and never liked how the sweater fit.
The sweater didn't fit, the job didn't fit.
Yeah, pretty much. So I actually haven't worn this sweater in almost a year, and I wanted to knit a sweater for myself, and I didn't have a sweater quantity worth of yarn in anything other than fingering. I didn't feel like knitting a fingering sweater. I'm already partway into.
For once.
Well, I'm already partway into a fingering sweater. I didn't feel like finishing it.
So, to avoid the crinkle, you could have soaked it and dried it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can skein it, soak it, dry it, and it will reset it back to its normal.
But when you block it, it'll...
But when I block it, it'll take everything, like it'll take all the crinkle out of it,
Okay.
and it'll even up the stitches again. Because the
What's
tension is
that
fine.
expression that it'll block right out?
Yeah. Excuse the swearing, but that shit'll block right out.
I was trying to be nice.
That's why I said excuse the swearing first.
Sorry, Maggie.
Don't repeat what I say. But yeah, it'll block, so I don't really care. And I literally pulled the sweater apart and wound it, which, by the way, having to, because this is done on 2 balls, alternating, because it's
It's a
hand
tonal.
dyed. Yeah, it's a tonal. It's Tanis Fiber Arts green label, so it's done in 2 balls, alternating for the whole thing to keep it from pooling.
Like one row, or two?
Well, I do knit, purl,
Okay.
and then switch, knit, purl, and then
Okay.
switch. I'll probably literally do alternating rows when I do the sleeves because they'll be done in the round.
Yeah.
But yeah, pulling that out, pain in the rear end. The other sweater also was not done in one piece. It was done in sections. So I had to pull out everything from the one front, the other front, both sleeves.
So you had a frogging party.
I had a frogging party. It took me a couple of hours.
Did you put him in the frog costume?
No.
That
No,
would
I
be
did not.
perfect.
But you do have a picture. You need to post that.
Yes.
Gadget has a frog Halloween costume. My
Gadget.
kids took him out trick-or-treating a couple of years ago.
And
It
Mom
was
bought him a
hilarious.
Halloween costume, which happened to be a frog. I also have a Sailor Moon costume for him. I'm not 100% sure if it fits. If it does, you guys will see it next week. If it doesn't, well,
We'll get it on him as best we can.
if nothing else, he
Oh,
might
God.
be wearing the wig. At least I think it's a Sailor Moon costume. It might actually not be. I don't remember. I didn't buy it. It was a Christmas gift from a friend of mine as a gag gift.
That's awesome.
So it's in a box. It's never been opened. I'm not entirely sure.
Yes, they cut fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever it is, you'll see it next week. Because this will be broadcast from my place with a pug.
Because
they'll be in
We'll
Rhinebeck.
be in Rhinebeck.
I'm sorry.
She's giving me money to bring her yarn, so it's like she's there.
No.
Only I don't have to deal with the crowds, but
Kinda like
unfortunately I
Stitches.
also don't get to see people.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I'm done.
Okay. What do I have on the needles? This week I started a crocheted scarf for my daughter out of this. Touch it.
Can I touch it?
You can touch it.
That's acrylic.
Ooh.
It's acrylic and wool, and it's called. Stop it! It's actually. If you look at it, it's called roving.
Yeah.
It's actually roving, so I could spin this if I wanted to. Yeah, it pulls apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so anyway, she picked out this because it's big and squishy. So I've gotten through 3 balls.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've gotten through 3 balls,
Don't make me poke you, woman.
and it's huge.
Yeah. Hi.
Sorry, it's huge. It could wrap around 3 times, but she's just gonna have it wrap around twice.
Okay, you saw it coming. Why didn't you close your mouth?
So, super squishy. And it's
Can I recommend washing that before you go
I
to it?
am.
It might have Kari spell.
I'm gonna soak it.
Oh God. I'm
And this is just a single crochet in the round. Bernat roving on 6.5 millimeter hook.
What am I doing?
I'm gonna be picking fuzz out of my mouth all day.
Woo.
The second thing I'm knitting is a cashmere, it's called cashmere ribbed hat. And what I wanted was a hat to knit the Himalayan Trail Beachy Basin that I got.
So soft and squishy.
And so this is what I've got so far. I have to do 10 inches of ribbing. And it's soft, it's squishy. And then the top, we can't show you, the picture probably won't show up, but the way the top of the crown is made, it's kind of decreases this way and then decreases into it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's a neat decrease.
Yeah, so cashmere ribbed hat, look it up. And somebody actually made it out of this yarn, because I went looking for a hat with this yarn, and I found it.
I'm making mitts.
So my hubby's getting a hat whether he wants one or not.
I'm
if
sure he won't say
it,
no.
Well, he won't say no. On 3.5 millimeters, which is a US 4. The other thing that I'm knitting on, and it's going to be transferred onto regular magic loop, because I'm doing the heel on these socks, which are for my husband. They are the Kate Atherley pattern of, it's like basic ribbed sock out of Lollipop yarn in the Urban Myth colorway on 2.75, which is a US 2. But I'm doing them on the 9-inch needles. And see how loose one side is?
Oh.
And this side's tight.
Oh.
So I'm going to put them back on my magic loop. So, yeah.
That's the 9-inch ones that you were drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I'm not getting cramps or anything, but it's just I want the heel to be tight.
Yeah.
If it's loose, it's not worth it, right? It's just going to come apart. So, which segues me into stash acquisitions, because
Yay!
my sock is in this gorgeous bag.
Which last night I got there first. She gets in it and no, you were
I was there first.
I
Just
walk
got
in and she's like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I'm like,
Leaves. This is from my friend Amelia, who I met on Instagram, and we've been chatting back and forth. She's from Montreal, and she's living in Boston, and she will be at Rhinebeck next week. So she made me that because she said she made a reminder of Canada.
I like the inside.
I know, it's these beautiful leaves.
I'm all
It's
about
awesome.
fallen leaves.
And she's new at
pumpkins
making
and
bags,
stuff, so.
and look at the quality.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I told her she needs to sell them. So I love it. So my pattern
Because
is
Sue
living
needs
in there.
another,
Oh.
store to buy bags at.
Okay, more stash. I won a pattern called Quibble. If you look it up, it's a vest with a hood. It's got a little bit of ribbing and a pocket on the front. And I was in a Hot Pink Sock Reviews group. She does a review of things every week, and that week it was for patterns. So I won the adult version. And there was a kid version. So I bought some yarn to make that. So Barocco Vintage DK, and it's a dark green. And yeah, I've got probably more than enough, because if I bought 6, I didn't get a discount. If I bought 8, I got a discount. So what's a girl to do?
A man will not buy something he needs. No, how did it go? A woman will buy something she doesn't need just because it's on sale.
Yeah.
And a man will not buy something he needs or something.
I saved
it was
$2 a skein.
Saved.
I'll make a hat out of it or something. Come on. I mean, it's gorgeous.
It's yarn. It's not like it won't get used.
That's
So
true.
that was gorgeous. I also received my sock club kit, my yarn club kit with Spartacus dyes, Sparkle Punk Lisa, and I can't remember the other person. So this was my yarn. The reason it's this yellow, it's supposed to imitate the number 2 pencil.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So it's perfect. And the pattern that came with it is an actual, it's a pencil case, but it's all knit, closed off, and then you, kind of like an afterthought heel, you create a hole so the pencils and pens can go in.
Huh.
Kind of cool. And this is the bag that came with it. It's very bright green, but it's not showing up. It's like,
Holy crap, that's huge.
it's huge.
It didn't look that big folded up.
No, it's like,
It's a bucket bag.
yeah, and it's got this big string on it.
That's pretty awesome.
Isn't it? So that is Spartacus Dyes. Mary Gale made that, and she dyed the yarn. So she's got some nice stuff. So I have one more month coming. Yeah, October. Yeah, I didn't receive October's yet. And then Erin Lane Bags, I think her name is Lindsay,
Yes.
quit her day job.
Good for her.
She's now doing bags full time.
Yes.
So
We saw
she-
her at Stitches.
So she did this thing where it was like not a yard sale, but it was like pick a price and you can get like, this cost me $20 for 2 bags. There was a $30 and there was a $40, and then like she would just
So
kind
it's
of
just
mix
like
and
grab
match.
bags of.
Kind of, and she just said if there's a theme or something you want, I'll try and match that. So
You picked green, obviously.
of course I picked green. So I got this cute little bag.
It's got little sheeps on it.
And I think it'll sit flat, and it's got this clip so you can tie it to your belt. So it's green and it's got sheeps. And then the other one that came with it.
Shit, I didn't bring he didn't give me my bag.
And I got this bag as well.
Which is, your
Great.
color.
And it's got the snap on it too. So I think I like them a lot. And
What else did you get, Sue? Just got a stack of stuff
No,
next
that's
to
it.
her. That's it?
That's my husband's sweater under there, which I really need to try to finish for Christmas. But I'm just I feel like ripping it out and making something else.
The flax is very nice.
I really, literally feel like ripping it out because
I
I'm at
know.
the point where I don't know what to do.
At this point, if you want, hand it over and I'll finish it.
Yeah, but I want to finish it myself.
Okay, well, hand it over and I'll do most of it. And then you can finish the ripping on the sleeves or something.
I'm just like, I'm frustrated because it's like, it wants you to do something, but there's stitches in the way. I can't get to the back until these stitches are gone. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling.
Bring it to Rhinebeck, we'll poke at it in the cabin.
Do you have stash?
I have stash.
No.
I actually have communal stash. Get this off so we don't lose where I am. We sort of, as a group, acquired this book this week. It's called Knit Along, Celebrating the Tradition of Knitting Together. It's by Larissa Brown and Martin John Brown. And it's basically about knitting groups, knit-alongs, things like that. And there was a pattern here that Sue wanted to make.
The
and-
barn raising quilt pattern,
Yes,
which is very popular. A lot of people are making the squares right
This
now.
is the blanket I wanted to do.
Okay.
There's this really, really gorgeous cable blanket in here.
Mm.
But the one she wanted was a mitered square blanket.
No.
And
Barn raising square blanket.
yeah, but
Big
it's not
squares.
mitered squares?
No.
Oh, they look like mitered squares.
No. They're knitting the round.
Anyway, it's in here somewhere. Oh, I thought you'd like this too. It's an entomology hat and mitt set.
Scarabs!
Yeah.
They're scarab beetles.
It's the entomology.
Oh,
That's what it's
and you know
called.
what? This really makes me laugh because I just went to the library yesterday and picked up 2 books on color knitting. Color work.
Yeah, and this is this is the
My husband's
entomology
an
hat and mitt
entomologist.
set. Her husband's an entomologist. I thought this was perfect. So anyway,
The
we
only thing that
acquired
would
this
make it more
book.
perfect was
Is
if
it
it was
bulky?
bees.
I don't know if it was bulky. No, they weren't bees. They were scarabs.
I know they're
but
scarab beetles.
But yeah, he studied bees, that's why. Honeybees.
This it looks like worsted to me, but
So Cascade 220.
it's Dale of Norway stuff, so you'll have to look at
Cascade
what that
220.
actually is. But yeah, it looks like worsted to me.
I could get those colors. Guess I might be going to buy some yarn today.
I figured you would like this when you
Need a
saw
ride
it.
home?
Sure!
So hey, sweet, then I get to go home to my boyfriend. So that's actually going to live here, and we basically all share books and
She
stuff.
basically bought it for me.
Pretty much.
I bought 2 books last week, but they're in the other room, so.
And I also ordered some minis from Miss Stephanie. I don't have the paper that was in it now.
Stephanie, who actually works for Stitchcraft Marketing, she actually does minis, and she has
She has an Etsy shop and she sells these.
It's called Handmade by Stephanie, but Stephanie is spelled with an F.
And a Y, I think.
No.
Is it
Stefanie.
Okay, anyway.
I get enough correspondence from her to know.
She will be offering us a coupon code for her store
Yes.
after Rhinebeck.
Tell them why.
Well, because she didn't realize that I was from Two Tangled Skeins when I ordered the yarn and when she sent it. And she was like, I feel really bad. I would have thrown some freebies and stuff in there. And I'm like, well, you don't have to give me freebies just because I'm on the podcast. And she's like, how about I give you guys a coupon code? And I'm like, okay.
And there's some really nice yarns. Like
Yes, I specified no alpaca, but I mean, some of this is Lorna's Laces. Some of it is Spud and Chloe. I've got some Beachy Basin in here. I've got some of a little bit of everything, and some of it is indie dyers. This stuff is an indie dyer. That stuff.
And she has a list, and she lists them all.
Yeah,
so
there's a piece of paper that comes in. Oh, that's why I don't have the piece of paper. It's still in the envelope. She sends this little list of what company it is, what color it is, and what it's made of. So, and it's an order. It goes like this. The order is the same as what's in the bag, so it's kind of awesome.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And yes, it is. The store is handmadebystephanie.etsy.com.
Yeah.
And if you want to hold off until after we get back from Rhinebeck, there will be a coupon code. And she also likes to send little things like.
Oh, she
sent me a whole bunch of little tattoos.
She's like, why'd you send me tattoos? I'm like, Sky.
I have a daughter, so she sent me a whole bunch of little tattoos, and she sent me this ukulele that I've never seen before. It's natural. So I've never seen natural scent. I'm really, really interested to see what it's going to be like, because I don't like scented stuff. So thank you, Stephanie. That's what I got. I've got more minis on the way, but they haven't arrived yet. So that's all my stash acquisition.
Cool. Let me look over here. I think that's pretty much it.
Yes.
So look forward to a Pugasode next week. I'm not sure if it'll be Saturday or Sunday or
Depends when Kari feels like doing it.
well, when she records it and how long it takes to upload.
Yeah, because my house, it takes a lot longer for me to upload than it
And
does
there
for
most
Sue.
likely won't be show notes next week, so don't expect any.
Yeah.
I'm the show
well,
notes
it's going to
queen.
be Kari and the pug.
And
there might not be knitting.
Kari was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to have anything done for next week. And I'm
and
like,
then
okay.
Holly on the group says, Pugasode!
You don't actually have to have any knitting content on this episode. All you need is the pugs. So it might just be
This
pugs.
is from a library.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a used book from a library that I got it from a third party.
See,
through
they have it at
Chapters.
the Ottawa Library, but I don't go to the Ottawa Library. And if I wanted
It's
to go to the
expensive.
not only it's
$75.
$50.
Yeah, for me it was $75
For a
family,
membership,
but yeah,
so-
it's expensive to get.
I mean, for me to be able to get, I brought home 7 English books from this library. I was like,
and it's hard to find English books at our library.
They live in Quebec.
Yeah.
French
Yeah,
is
so
like the
it's
only
a pain in the
language.
butt.
when I go to the library, I go to the knitting section, and all the English books have an orange sticker that says adult. So then I can just go, okay, that's that, and I know which ones. So
It's a pain in the butt. Now I have to pack all my stuff away.
that's it for this week. So happy knitting, happy
Happy spinning.
minute.
everything crafting.
Okay, Friday, we are heading to Rhinebeck. Saturday, there is a podcasters meetup.
Yes, at
They
So
will
if
be
you
there.
want to see us and
And
you don't want to have to walk through all the buildings to try and stalk us,
a whole bunch of other podcasters will be there on
yes.
the hill close to the entrance.
at 1 p.m.
1
on
p.m.
Saturday.
If you go on the Rhinebeck group board, there's actual
There's a thread
there's
for the
a
podcasters
thread,
meetup.
and you'll see all the podcasters. Like Dark Matter Knits is going. The Stockinette Zombies is going.
There were a whole bunch of new podcasters too.
Yeah, a
who
bunch of
just
new
started.
podcasters are going.
So we're really looking for. Sorry, I've been sliding off the chair.
So
I'm
And
really
it'll be-
looking forward to seeing everybody.
They'll have 2 other women with them who are going to be stand-ins for me, apparently.
One is going to be super, super bouncy and perky, and the other one's kind of quiet. So come and say hi.
And I may or may not, cover them in pug hair or something.
No.
this will be Elizabeth's second Rhinebeck, Crystal's
Yes,
first
first.
Rhinebeck.
And Crystal
And
is
it's
so excited she's almost supersonic.
It's my second one as well because I didn't go last year.
Yes, that's true. You didn't.
And living vicariously through others sucks.
Yes, it does.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. She's giving me cash. I
We
bring her
rented
back.
a cabin in Phoenicia, so yay! We're all going to stay in this little cabin in the woods.
All right, that's
I'm
enough
working.
chatter.
Yes. Well, I wanted to talk about the podcast review.
True.
All right.
So, bye.
Bye.
Okay, mouse. Hi.
As my
sorry.
hand goes